We are live. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? This is Jay, and that is Brandon. And below us, we got Jesse. Jesse is from Australia. Jesse is also a clairvoyant. And now, Jesse, how long have you known you were a clairvoyant?
Since I was 5.
Since you were 5? Oh, that's cool. What was your first experience on that?
Well, I couldn't sleep on my own. My poor mum had to deal with it a lot. I had trouble sleeping because I could see things in my room. More like transparent people.
Right.
I did see my grandfather who died before I was born.
Right.
And I described him to my mum the next day. She was sort of freaked out, but she didn't know what to think of it.
Right.
And like my problem with sleeping got that full on. She took me to see counselors and everything, and nothing worked. And then my mum's friend got suggested like just for me to go see a psychic healer. So I went there, and she said that I have all these energies hanging around me because I'm very psychic myself. And, I was only 5 and I didn't know what was going on. So she sort of like cleansed my energy. She told me what to do, what to say when it got a bit too much. And like I just put a crystal and an angel card under my pillow at night. I'd tell them to go to God's light when they've been too full on.
Right.
And a few days after, like, it worked and I could sleep again. But I've always sort of been able to see like people's auras.
Yeah.
And sense things about people as well. And my dad lived in a farmhouse that had a fair few deaths there.
Right.
So I've always I've always been sort of around it. Yeah, and I pick up on people's energies. Like I was saying before, I need to meditate before, catching up with someone or seeing someone. Appointments, just leaving the house, I like to do that.
Right. Right on. And now, how do you handle it now as you're into your adult years?
It's definitely different now. It depends on the person. I'll catch up with a random person, and if their loved one has a message, I'll give it to them. It doesn't happen all the time. At home, there's a time and place for it as well. I tell, my spirit guides and everything, this is my time.
Right.
When I'm home. I've had people in my family pass away, so I know when they're hanging around, and they can hang around all they want and stuff, but it's just I draw a fine line when I'm at home. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted by my son.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm very nervous as well.
You're good. No worries. No, now, do you think that your gifts have passed it on to your children?
I definitely know my daughter. She's 4.
Right.
I've witnessed some experiences,
Yeah.
She'll be like in her room playing and talking to herself, and then I'll ask her who she's talking to, and then she'll say like, her uncle, like my brother passed away before she was born.
Right.
And people that she didn't know, she'll bring up. So, and she's very intelligent. I definitely think she's got it.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you've seen the stuff that you've gone through and how everything has affected your life. Now, what ways are you going to change it for your daughter who also has a gift?
Well, I hope she doesn't let the emotions affect her badly, like they have done to me.
Right.
And with the spirit stuff, I had a lot of scary stuff happen to me when I was 5. Like,
Like what?
it was quite scary for a 5-year-old, you know. I didn't know what was going on exactly.
Right.
Yeah, these spirits were just, they didn't look very kind or anything. They looked scary to me.
Right. Oh, it's all unknown to you as a child. You know, you can't
Yeah.
really comprehend what actually is going on, you know?
Yeah.
And did you see Christine's comment? She's gifted also. There we go. And then, now you said, like, what benefits or disadvantages have you had in your life being a clairvoyant?
Yeah. Dealing with the emotions that it comes with, I had a really hard time.
Right.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just like when you try and tell your friends and everything and they're not into it, and they
Right.
just think you're a bit crazy or don't believe you, and then you say something and then they'll be like, how'd you know that? And then they sort of believe you, but then I get judged a lot as well. That's one of the things about this.
That's probably going to be the hardest part about it is, like, you know, you feel isolated because, you know, you're gifted and, like, people that don't believe you or something like that, they just don't understand it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, have you found a community now as an adult where you feel like you belong and, like, they accept you for who you are?
Yeah, definitely. Since I joined Twitter as well, there's a lot of people like you guys and a lot of people that are open to it.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier.
Right on.
You don't feel so alone, but I feel that I'm still developing my psychic abilities as well. Like,
Right.
more things are happening. It was different because when I was younger, I could see spirits. But once I got older, that sort of stopped.
Right.
And seeing auras was something I always could do.
Yeah.
Sometimes too. It's not everyone.
Right.
It would just a lot of religious people actually.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, does it matter what type of religion? Would it have been Christianity or
Doesn't
Judaism?
matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
wild.
That's what I've noticed. And it's always white.
Huh. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as they believe in something, you know? I'm just surprised it just, like, you know, differ between the religions and everything like that. Now, how does it work when you're going on? You also do paranormal investigations. Is that not correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Just
Now,
that's a recent thing I've started.
How does that work with you doing paranormal investigations also? Now, do you find that the spirits are more likely to talk to you because of your gift? And, like, you know, they say that the people that go on paranormal investigations that have a gift, you're like a blinking light to them, and they want to rush you to talk to you because they know that you can understand them, you know?
Yeah.
Now, do you find that?
I do sometimes. And it was actually different because when I was pregnant,
Yeah.
it was more happens every time. Like I get visions a lot as well.
Right.
I get visions more now that I'm older.
Yeah.
They started when I was a teenager. I'd have dreams of like just seeing people in the shops, and then the next day I'd see them there exactly how it was in my dream. I just know these things. That started more when I was like a teenager, and then I get it all the time now.
Right on. Now, how do
Yeah.
you now? Too bad you couldn't just see the future when you were a teenager or something like that, and just like visualize what the answers were on a test or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
So easy. Don't have to study or nothing. Going to college and stuff like that. Just like, oh, I know the answer to this. You know? No. Now, for when you like went to your first investigation, what was the experience like?
Um, that was a bit full on. I had a weird experience. I was doing an investigation in an old pioneer town.
Yeah.
Like it's very old. And I was walking in the pub and I just started getting this overwhelming feeling, shaking, and I looked down the hallway and it was weird. I heard really scary music, just overwhelming, sort of like music in The Conjuring, for
Right.
example.
Oh
It
wow.
was just very like, don't go down there, very bad vibes.
Yeah.
And then I found out later on from the owners that down the hallway was the bathroom, and a few women died there.
Oh
So
really?
yeah.
Oh
Um,
man. That's wild. Did any of the women talk to you or anything like that? Did you have dreams about them afterwards, or did you just like?
no, no. I got the image of like a female.
Hmm.
I saw the image of a female. None of them talked to me because it just spooked me out that I had to leave straight away.
Oh really? I've
Yeah.
only gone like a couple of investigations, like one or two that I had to leave right off because like what I got feelings it was a little bit too much to where I couldn't handle it anymore. If for the people that just joining us, Jesse is also from Australia, so it's totally different than the United States and everything like that. She's actually in the morning right now, and it's like almost night for us. And now, what is the paranormal world or paranormal community in Australia like when it comes to like? Do you have a lot of people that are gifted? Do you have just like few and far between?
Yeah, we have like psychic fairs
All right.
every year. Um I had a good time investigating with other people. They have like a paranormal investigator tour group
Yeah.
down in South Australia. Um, I did a tour with them once, and it's not my thing. I
Yeah.
think going solo by myself is better. It's not that big.
All right.
Like,
Well, like what? Like you're from a town, correct? How big is the town
yes.
you actually live in?
Uh, um, it's I don't know. It's quite big. Um, and a lot of people are sort of into it, sort of not. A lot of skeptics here.
All right.
Easier way to say it. There is a lot of
Right.
skeptics here.
There's a lot of skeptics everywhere, even here in the States. There's a lot
Yeah.
too. Yeah, people that they think they're crazy, just like the people that don't believe in UFOs, don't believe in spirits. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's everywhere, but they'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Like, what was your most recent experience with clairvoyant? Being a clairvoyant.
My most recent. I can't think on the top of my head most recent, but I have other events that's happened. It's been sort of new, happened in the past couple of years, sort of thing.
What was that?
When I had my daughter in hospital,
Yeah.
I was, half asleep, and she was stirring a bit. So I woke up and I checked on her and she was fine. And then I turned around and then I saw my brother there.
Oh, wow.
But it freaked me out. So I sort of like jumped and then he just disappeared.
Yeah.
And like I can't really connect with my family so much. Like I had that experience with my brother. Me and him were close when he was alive.
Right.
So I guess he knows that, doing stuff like that. He flickers lights as well. The
Right.
flickering of the lights. I can smell his his cologne.
Yeah.
So, and then my dad passed away, and I haven't really seen any signs from him.
Oh, that's weird.
So, it is weird.
Now, do you think your brother's like stuck in like purgatory type of thing, and your dad's passed on, like your brother has unfinished business type of thing, or do you think that that you guys have just had such a tight bond that he's like just basically watching over you?
I think and I believe when people pass away, yeah. I personally don't believe that they get stuck in purgatory.
Okay.
I believe that, they are greeted by loved ones.
Yeah.
And, your soul moves on. I do think they can show us signs. They just like to know like us to know that they're still around watching over us. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Even I have been to a psychic medium myself.
Oh, yeah?
After my brother died. And she said a lot of things that was just, no one would have known. And I do think that maybe I haven't connected with my loved ones because, I need time to move on and grieve.
Yeah, I get that. Now, when you say you have visions and stuff, does he ever come to you in your dreams and like tell you stuff? Like,
yes. Yeah.
Can you give us an example of that?
Yes. So this is actually crazy. When he passed away, and it was like the recent weeks afterwards, I had a dream because he died on my dad's property.
Yeah.
I had a dream he was there. He was talking to me, telling me everything's going to be okay, that I need to take care of my mum. He's going to be watching over me. And he was dressed in exactly what he used to wear. And then I was telling, because I've got an older brother who's still living, and I was telling him that. And he's like, that freaked me out because he actually had the exact same dream. And my brother is like the biggest skeptical person ever.
Yeah.
And it freaked him out knowing we had pretty much shared the same dream.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Now, do you know if either one of your parents are clairvoyants?
My grandmother on my dad's side was pretty psychic, my mum was saying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, so how was it like? Did she finally accept you as you're growing, like as you're getting older, or like as your gift and stuff, or did you like have a hard time with it through
my mum?
Still there? Hello? Well, hopefully she comes back when she
You there?
Yeah, I'm there. Okay. Okay,
Sorry.
now that's okay.
Can you repeat that?
No, I was asking you. Now, as a growing up with your mom, like, did your parents accept you for having your gift, or did they like always worry about it and like were very skeptical of it?
My mom, she in general is a spiritual person.
Right.
And when she, figured out that it wasn't me just not going to bed, there was something going on there, she
Yeah.
accepted me and she helped a lot. And I talk to her a lot about it as well now.
Right.
And she is a strong believer of paranormal as well. She's had experiences. So she was very supportive, especially when I'd see stuff at school and then I'd come home and tell her. My dad, he was always he was a tough guy. He was skeptical. He wasn't really open to it.
Yeah.
But when my brother died, grief does things to people, and he was very lost. And
Yeah.
my daughter was a newborn around that time as well. So I actually there's a photo I took of my dad holding my daughter, and there's actually something standing behind him, and a little bit of my dad's aura, what was blue,
Yeah.
is in the photo as well.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
I've got that. So yeah, that changed his mind afterwards.
Yeah. Now, do you can you see your own aura when you look in the mirror or something like that? Or yeah.
No.
Now, have you ever gone to a situation and like you're just sitting there talking to people and you just see random people walking by with their auras and stuff like that, and you just get bad
Yeah.
vibes out of them, so you just stay away from them?
Yeah. I normally don't see auras of people that are negative. I
Right.
feel the negativity, It's just like
Yeah.
a gut instinct.
Yeah.
I trust my intuition with these people. I just know, yeah, that person I need to stay clear from. We're not going to be friends. Just, stay clear from me. And I do that.
Right.
So that's a
Now,
good thing. I believe that I see auras of good people.
that's awesome.
I'd just, be at the bank or something random and I'd see someone's aura.
Oh wow.
Or someone's talking to me and I see their aura. And sometimes it's distracting, but you get used to it after a while.
Right. Now, has it ever come to you and be like, "What are you looking at? Why are you looking at me like this?"
Yes. Yeah, I get that.
Like, what did I do? She's like, "Oh, nothing." Getting all awkward with it. Now, when you went to the psychic lady, what she tell you anything more about your gift? Like, have you taken somebody? Like, has somebody taken you under their wing and try to teach you some stuff?
Yeah. I went to her and she's like, yeah, I can definitely see like your third eye.
Yeah.
The problem with me is that I am really empathic. I pick up on people's emotions, anxiety. Like going to the shop is one of them. Don't really like going to the shops. She told me that all I need to do is I really need to just meditate. Most of the time, like before I meet people, afterwards, it's important to do that.
Right. Now, have you ever had anything negative follow you home?
Yes, actually. I've lived in a few houses with negative energy in there.
Right.
Negative spirit.
Yeah.
I had a witch friend of mine come do a blessing on the house. And when in situations like that, I sage, put crystals out.
All right.
But yeah, I do get a few things like follow me. But
All right.
I sage, I tell them to go to God's light.
Now, have you ever had any of them actually physically touch you or whisper into your ear or anything like that? And
Yeah,
can you tell us about that experience?
When I was younger, the whispering was the thing that freaked me out the most. Was there would just be whispers in my ears. People say my name, don't know what was going on. That's what freaked me out as a child the most because I didn't understand what was happening.
Right.
I've had a few experiences like that when I've been older.
Yeah.
It does freak me out a little bit, but I say you're not welcome here. Please go to God's light. Yeah.
Oh wow. Now, have you ever been touched by one?
When I did that paranormal investigation with a group at that Pioneer town, I did then.
Okay.
I had my hair up in a ponytail and someone was pulling my scrunchie. But not too, physical.
Right. Well, that's cool. Now, what have you learned about being a clairvoyant that you don't think you would have learned on your own without being a clairvoyant?
Trying to understand that question. I learned to trust my instincts more than anything.
All right.
Like if you just go against it, the wrong things happen. And I've learned that the hard way. I need to trust my instincts. And I actually watch a lot of YouTube videos.
What have you watched for YouTube?
About different psychics and see have.
Hey Jesse, you're breaking up. Can you repeat all of that?
Sorry, someone was trying to call me.
It's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good now. You're breaking up again.
I can't hear you that much.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Before you broke up, can you repeat what you were going to say?
I have just learnt to trust my gut instinct on things.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Not wrong.
I normally, if I need help with something like this, I'll, go on YouTube, look at other psychics.
Can you see this question right here?
Are you there?
Can you see the question on the screen? Somebody asked, what's your best advice for anyone who wants to get into clairvoyance?
Sorry, just putting the baby down. That would be definitely learn meditation because you need to, get your own feelings and energy aside when you want to do mediumship.
Right.
It just helps with everyday things. Sometimes it can be like information overload.
Right.
So meditation clears the mind, helps things process better, I guess.
Right on. I get that. I mean, You gotta learn to live with it pretty much. You gotta learn like, how to
Yeah.
cleanse yourself and how you can like release yourself from certain spirits or certain entities or whatnot.
Mm,
And you gotta learn
definitely.
you can't just like sit there and stare at people all the time. It always
Yeah.
makes it awkward. Might get the cops called on you. Just saying. All right, here's another one. Here's a good comment. That's pretty cool, Carrie. Now, what are you're planning on going forward being a clairvoyant? Are you going to explore this gift more as you get
Yeah.
older, or are you just going to
That's
like?
what I've actually been doing right now, my life at the moment. I've been learning different meditation techniques, opening chakras, trying to cleanse your chakra because I've had a lot of traumatic experiences as well.
Yeah,
So I need to also get my emotions in order as well
it
to get
makes
into
sense.
this. Yeah.
Man, definitely. Now, have you ever been in like college or anything like that where you're looking at the professor up there and you see like this bad aura off of him? Um, what would you end up doing?
Um, I stay clear from people like that. I try to,
Right.
even if like I'm doing a group thing like that, or I will, cleanse my aura and energy.
Would you end up dropping the class or would you continue with it?
Probably. No, yeah. I've been around a lot of negative people, and I just don't take that crap anymore. A lot of my family are actual very judgmental people,
Right.
like my extended family, so I've dealt with it a lot. Yeah, and I just don't make room for them in my life. If I'm in some sort of group or anything, I will leave, to be
Right.
honest. Or I'll give it time, but yeah.
Now, as a clairvoyant, do you find it harder to come out of your shell to people and stuff like that, and to friends to open up
Yeah.
to actually tell them what you actually are, or do you just mostly keep it to yourself now as an adult?
Depends who I'm talking with. If some people are open to this, I
Yeah.
will tell them. Sometimes I keep it to myself.
Right. Now, uh, for your children and stuff like that. Now, how much are you going to end up teaching your daughter about this? Like, what is going to be your main focus? Basically, just how to cleanse herself and like, or
Yeah,
you
and if she has any trouble sleeping at night or anything like that, I just tell her what I got told.
yeah,
I've already done that too. You
right,
know, I've told her that, the people, she's told me who she's been talking to.
yeah,
So I'll ask her straight away. And then, I say, they're just here watching over you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has your dad or your brother ever come to her?
My brother, a lot.
Not really.
She's mentioned my dad,
Yeah.
but I personally haven't had an experience with my dad yet.
Oh, really? I wonder why that
Yeah.
is. Did you and your dad have something like a rift between you guys, or?
Um, we were really close, but when he was alive, he's always had just emotional wall in front of him.
Right.
Didn't really show his emotions much, like
Yeah.
that sort of thing. He did love us, but he was
Right.
just very closed off from how he was brought up,
Right.
I guess.
Now, what you call it? Um, Now, what is your next experience going to be like? Are you going to be going on any investigations anytime soon?
What was that? Sorry.
Are you going to be going on any investigations soon?
I'm looking around. Definitely looking around to see more places.
All right. So what's one place you want to check out in Australia?
There is a place called Kapunda Hotel. Yeah. I find that hotels have the most energy or spirits in there. A lot of old pubs and stuff like that.
Oh, shoot. We lost her. Hopefully she comes right back in. That's pretty interesting, Christina.
There he is.
Hopefully she comes back with. I know she's been having a lot of technical difficulties. Hope everybody's enjoying this show.
Of course, she's using her phone.
Make sure you. Right. I'm not sure if she has a laptop or whatnot, and she's got her little one, so it's all good. Here she is.
So sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. We stalled. So go on what you were saying.
I forgot. Sorry.
It's all good. Now you were saying like your experiences and stuff like that, and like you wanted to go to the hotel that you find that has more energy to it.
Yeah, I'm actually drawn to really old places like that, like old pubs and hotels.
Right.
Houses too. The farmhouse that I grew up on was extremely, like, a lot of spirits there. There was 4 deaths there.
Yeah.
2 suicides.
Oh wow.
And then just 2 elderly people that just passed away. So I've always been around it a lot, even like because my parents were divorced, so one weekend I'd go to my dad's farmhouse, and then I'd stay at my mum's house. But it was interesting because when I lived with my mum, she moved into a new house, brand new house, and things started happening there as well. And it was interesting. My mum actually thought that they were just connected to me, like attached to my energy.
Right.
Because my mum saw a little girl who she thought it was me, and then I walked the opposite direction. That spooked her. And
really, like,
would have
jump out of this seat.
Yeah, okay. She was very spooked. She was very spooked. We had appliances going off on its own, and then my mum even had an electrician come in, and still happening, just like kettles going off and washing machines. And my mum believed that was me. These spirits attached themselves to me.
Right.
And then when I went to my dad's house, it was more, I saw a lot of shadow people.
Yeah.
A lot of those. Yeah. I know my stepbrother actually did a Ouija board there.
No.
And that opened a lot of portals. And my stepmom was a huge skeptic, would run to her and be like, we saw a shadow people, and she'd be like, just imagination. After he did the Ouija board, things started happening more, like chairs being like knocked over, thrown across the room. It was spooking her out so much. My dad and stepmom actually moved out of the house into a shed on the property.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
how far away was the shed?
Us kids were... Pardon?
How far away was it from, like, Did they feel more safe there?
Yeah, they did. It was just like 5 minutes down. It was a big farmhouse property. It was a massive property we lived on. So it was just like 4 minutes walk or something.
Yeah.
It was really bizarre, and like they would work a lot. So my older siblings would look after me, would be downstairs, no one would be upstairs. You hear footsteps.
Right.
Yeah. I did see, pardon?
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this male. He was a male, he was tall, and he was transparent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was the one who actually committed suicide. One of the people that committed suicide on the property.
It was like a full body apparition?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And I wasn't exactly the happiest feeling from that person, since they did commit suicide.
Right.
I remember that clear as day, because these things do freak me out as well.
I'm sure. Like, they scare me sometimes too. I mean, I'm not really doing investigations anymore. I just do common cases anymore, and like I'll do a random one here and there, but pretty much I'm not into the paranormal world anymore.
Yeah.
So as you're just starting out into it, do you use any type of devices that help you get clear communication or what they're trying to tell you, or does it just automatically come to your mind?
It comes to my mind. I try and avoid using equipment.
Right.
I just like it better when I'm doing it.
You don't even take an EVP recorder or something like that with you?
I do have a recorder and things. Sorry, it's my son being very loud. Trying to find a quiet place, but
it's all good. As most of you guys know, that Jesse has a little one, and it's only like 10:13 in the morning in Australia. So
11 o'clock.
What's that?
It's 11.
Oh, 11 o'clock. Sorry.
My bad.
But on for sound. Now, what would you do? Like, would you ever be interested in coming to the States and doing investigations, or to the UK?
Yes, definitely. There's so much places that I want to go. I'm very like, I really like investigating and researching like very famous hauntings in America that's happened in America, like the Amityville horror.
Yep.
Yeah, and like some of the cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren done, you know, the places. I think that would be very cool to do.
Definitely. Some are pretty cool. Like, I'm like super curious about going to UK and stuff like that, just because of the history aspect of it, you know. And seeing,
yeah, definitely.
You know, have you ever gone like look up your ancestry? You know, because I'm not like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the history of Australia, that used to be like where they'd send the UK and stuff like that would send prisoners, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever looked up your history, like see what if there's like you have a history of being clairvoyants, which they're considered witches back in the day?
I haven't looked into it, but I've definitely thought about it, looking into it for sure.
I'd just be super curious just to see what the history is behind that, because obviously it's like a gift that keeps on getting passed down, you know?
Yeah.
And like See, that'd be kind of weird, or kind of cool in the same aspect of that you find out the reason why your ancestors are going to get shipped over to Australia is because of this gift.
Yeah.
Now, what else was I going to ask you? So, like, you want to come over here or come over to the States and do Warren's house? Any other places you want to check out?
Definitely would like to go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of it's got a lot of history there. I think that would be really fascinating going there. And my stepsister actually went to America, and she went to New Orleans and did a ghost tour.
Yeah.
And I was looking back on the photos, and there was just so much spirit orbs.
Right.
And, like, all the photos they were taking, in New Orleans, it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, New Orleans is pretty crazy, to say the least. Do you have any for your tribes and stuff like that are still in Australia? Now, have you gone and investigated any of those type of places ever, or would be interested in doing that?
I would be interested in doing that. I haven't, though.
Is that available to do that there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would definitely be interested in doing something like that, man.
Yeah.
And you guys are in going into summer right now, correct?
What was that?
You're going into the summer months for you guys, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going into the winter months. As you see people in the chat, they're talking about what the temperature's like right now.
Right here in Australia?
Yeah.
It's very hot. We've had a lot of crazy weather, actually. It's been raining, and some days it's been really hot and then muggy. So.
Right on. I'm just replying to this. So, what do you see yourself in 5 years from now with this gift?
I'm hoping to be a reader, a mediumship reader, full on.
Right on.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping to do. That's why I've just been researching it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of meditation books and chakra cleansing.
Now, have you thought about doing any setting up a website, anything like that, where people can reach out to you to get a Skype reading from you or anything like that?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it.
You should definitely do it that way because with the whole coronavirus and you being thousands and thousands of miles away, it'd be a lot easier for people from the States to reach out to you.
Yeah. I would attempt to do something I really need to be focused. Right now, I couldn't do it because, I've got my baby running around, fully focused on that. I'm not in the right mindset,
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely,
So I like to be in a really calm environment. My house is, my temple.
Right.
It's where I come to relax and where I don't want to be bothered and
right on. You just want to be left alone and get into your own zone,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I definitely want to try that. Make a website, and I've gone to psychics.
yeah.
I've noticed that you get a peace of mind. If you find the right one as well. I've had a few that are kind of be saying things that don't really make sense or really muddled up and but I've had ones that I've left with just peace of mind. It's nice to hear messages from spirit, especially loved ones. Yeah, it is nice. I want to help people with that.
Right on. That's cool. I put your username and everything like that. So everybody that's watching this, please give Jessie a follow. She's a pretty cool chick. And when you get everything set up, have you got your own YouTube channel and everything like that set up yet?
It's set up, but I need to do a lot to it.
Right on. But
has this been an okay interview?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, let's see what the people say. Has the interview been good? Anybody in the chat can respond to that.
I've been very nervous, so I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. I get super nervous. Trust me on that one. They're talking right now. I think it's been a good interview, Jesse. There's nothing you have to worry about. Yeah, Static said it was good so far. There's nothing to be nervous about, honestly. But I'm not one to talk. I'm a very introverted person myself. I really don't like talking to people and going out and doing stuff, and pretty much a homebody. I'll avoid people at all costs. Trust me on that. And everybody enjoyed it. So no stress. Now, Jesse, do you mind taking anybody's questions? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, will you take anybody's questions? If anybody has questions for you directly. All right. Does anybody have any questions for Brandon and I before we wrap this up? Brandon, what's your Halloween plans?
Nothing.
Just sick.
No, it's just I've got Mucinex, so I'll be okay. I've got that Mucinex cold and cramps.
Right.
Plus, I've been taking a little bit of vitamins, so it ain't Corona, everybody. It ain't the Mexican ass with water. Even though I've had to send some people home from work because of it.
And but besides that, well, Jesse, I think that we've learned a lot from you tonight. Answered a lot of my questions. I really didn't know really much about clairvoyance. I know a lot about MFIT and paranormal investigations and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly how a clairvoyant is now. I do.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. And okay, here we got some more questions for you.
Precious. Gosh.
Can you see that, Jesse?
Yeah.
Okay. That one's directly towards you.
My most memorable memory is probably when I saw my brother in the hospital after I had my daughter. Just because I saw him and it was quite amazing. Can
you read that one?
Sorry, my son's getting into things.
All right. Well,
I've had one experience. I was actually feeling very low this one time, very sad. I was missing my brother quite a bit. And I was, thinking, if you're here, please make any sort of sign, move something, anything. And I was like, at the point, I was like, I need something to know that you're here.
Right.
And lights started flickering non-stop. These were going crazy. And it got to a point where it scared me. And then I'm like, Dylan, please stop. And then they stopped.
Oh, wow. That's pretty crazy. And do you see the next question?
My first proper encounter with a spirit would be meeting my grandfather. Just because, he passed away before I was born. And he was telling me to be good, everything's going to be okay, I need to take care of my mum, sort of thing. And then when I told my mum, she was just very shocked. And I described exactly what he wore, what he looked like. And that was a nice experience because I was younger and it's not like he was transparent. It was just like a normal person, living person sitting on my bed talking to me.
Right.
Very peaceful. So, yeah.
So,
my son started walking, so he's getting into everything at the moment.
little ones will be little ones, kids will be kids. That's what makes them fun. I love kids, honestly.
What's actually crazy, my son's dad moved into a house.
Yeah.
And that person was an old person. He actually died there.
Yeah.
And I've heard knocking when I've gone to, visit my son. I go over there and I look after him sometimes. Or he'll wake up from a nap and he's always facing the wall and talking at the wall. So even he's had some experiences.
Oh, wow. So, one more question. I'm gonna wrap this up. Let's get the last question, and then we're gonna close this out.
If I get any negative spirits, I will tell them to go to the light. I do not make contact with negative spirits at all. Well, I try not to. I've actually had this one experience. See, I've even cut back on which friends drain my energy. I've had this one friend and she's sweet, but she's been through a lot and she got into the occult, dark stuff.
Oh, really?
Talking like doing curses on her family, and her vibe was just all negative. She didn't see any positive. That's what I try and do. I try and see positive through negative things. I try and think that there's always a positive. Right. And she was just very dark and couldn't see any positives, and she was saying that she was having trouble in her house. Right. So I went to her house and checked it out, and her brother wasn't sleeping in his own room at all. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go in. Look, I got opened the door. Didn't even go in because I just got this big rush. It was just like a big air just push you. It's just this negativity. My eyes started rolling in the back of my head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was very dark.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Just to stay around while we close this out. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.
Thank you.
And stay on for the remainder. Peace.